Good morning, and thank you for joining me today. Our thoughts and our prayers go out to our neighbors in the north and west who are enduring some extremely difficult weather conditions. And in spite of all of that, when you look outside in Savannah, even as dreary as this weekend has been, you recognize just how blessed we are. Friday was Savannah's 288th birthday, and although we've been through a very difficult year, this milestone is a reminder of the perseverance of this great hostess city. To mark the occasion, I joined Ms. Rodriguez's second grade class at Hurd Elementary School. And I will tell you there is no greater privilege as an elected official and as the 67th mayor of our city than an opportunity to advocate and hang out with some of the best and brightest in our community. Last week, I also had the privilege of witnessing one of Georgia's new senators advocating for the importance of Savannah and the port of Savannah, not only to coastal Georgia, but the entire nation. I appreciate Senator Ossoff's comments, the shout out and the lines of communications that both he and Senator Warnock have maintained with the city of Savannah since taking office. And I will tell you that it's refreshing to have their support for our city. The COVID-19 situation in our city is worsening, although indications around the country is that's improving. And so I will just simply point to our metrics, which still indicate very high community spread, with our community transmission index as of 420, as of February 14th, 420. And this number is 4 times greater than the 100 necessary to be considered a county with high community spread. Our cumulative test positivity rate has been greater than 10% for the last 2 months. And right now, we're at a 13% positivity rate. And we are seeing hospitalizations and deaths rise as well. In 1 week, from February the 7th to February the 14th, 12 more residents of Chatham County, 12 more of our neighbors, our family members, and our friends have passed away due to COVID-19. I certainly cannot reiterate enough, even though the weather improves, even though people are moving around a little bit more, that this disease is dangerous and can impact any family in the neighborhood, in your neighborhood. And I have, during this week, just seen more and more personally of my friends and people I know of that are inflicted with COVID-19. So I can't re-emphasize how important it is to please, pretty please, be smart about this. Wear your mask, wash your hands, watch your distance, and if you feel that you have COVID-19 symptoms, then please go get tested. And when the vaccine is available to you, go ahead and get the vaccine. So for vaccines, remember we're still in phase 1A+, which means that shots are limited to healthcare workers, emergency first responders, individuals ages 65 years or older, and caregivers of those 65 and older. A caregiver is a person, paid or unpaid, who regularly assists with the task of daily living. And we're asking people that if you are not a caregiver, for real, then we want you to make sure that the health department is watching. So please be ready to demonstrate that you are indeed a caregiver. However, if you're in any of these categories, go to gachd.org, gachd.org/vaccine to check availability and to book an appointment. If you don't have internet access or need help scheduling, you can call 912-230-5506, 912-230-5506, and please know and understand that telephone wait times may be long. The website is for booking your first dose only. you will schedule an appointment for your second dose during your first. And if possible, you should plan to receive your second dose at the same location that you received your first. You can book an appointment up to 8 days in advance, and if you don't see any available appointments, please check back the next day. It's my understanding that the site is very fluid, so people make appointments and they cancel them, get them and they cancel them. So check back every day. And even with this new online portal, we still know that the health department staff will need your patients. The Georgia Department of Public Health is still looking for volunteers to help with its COVID-19 vaccination response. And I'm so pleased and proud of not only Team Savannah, but people in Savannah who have offered themselves to be of assistance at this time. Georgia Responds is Georgia's medical and health volunteer program that matches medical and non-medical volunteer skills and credentials to help stop the spread of COVID-19 in Georgia. To volunteer, we're still looking for volunteers. Visit dph.georgia.gov/Georgia-response. dph.georgia.gov/Georgia-response and click on Register Now. Once your skills and your credentials have been reviewed and verified, you will be contacted by a DPH representative. As a reminder, the Chatham County Emergency Rental Assistance Program can assist households unable to pay rent and utilities due to the COVID-19 pandemic. A total of $8.7 million is available. For more information, any Chatham County resident in need of rental assistance should directly contact the United Way of the Coastal Empire at 211 or 912-651-7730. That's 211 or 912-651-7730. Or you can contact the Economic Opportunity Authority. Economic Opportunity Authority, EOA, is 912-438-8077. 912-438-8077, or online at one word, EOARentalAssistance.itfrontdesk.com. EOARentalAssistance.itfrontdesk.com. As an additional part of our efforts to support local businesses under our Resilient Savannah package, restaurants that had a Sunday alcohol sales license in 2019 can continue operating with Sunday sales even if they do not meet the 50% food sales threshold normally required in our alcohol ordinance. So this is, I think, goes a long way. And quite simply, you know, you have to serve a certain amount of food, you have to serve a certain amount of alcohol, and let's face it, folks are just not selling food like they used to. So this is an opportunity for the city of Savannah to again be proactive, to be able to try to help our businesses stay afloat during these times. So if they've had a Sunday sale license in 2019, they can continue operating with Sunday sales even if they don't meet that 50% food sales threshold normally required. This will only apply to restaurants that were previously licensed for Sunday sales, and this will remain in place until our emergency declaration is lifted. So hopefully this helps, and we're looking for ways to be of help. The Savannah Arena Project held a construction career event this past Saturday at the Savannah Civic Center, as I was fortunate to attend and interact with the many people who were there. As I shared previously, it is an absolute priority for me. I unequivocally demand that this arena is built by Savannahans, wherever and however possible. And this is an opportunity for job skills to be offered, to be given, to lead members of our community to future high-wage opportunities. This is how we're going to build capacity not only for people, but for businesses in our community to make sure they have an opportunity to be a part. Next week, we'll make a trip out to the arena site for the weekly news conference, where I'll have the opportunity to provide some exciting updates and really how we intend to intentionally work toward increasing local participation in the remainder of this project. We are simply 1 year away from opening this arena. 1 year. I appreciate the work being done by Workforce Coastal and our new economic development team to launch a new robust effort to engage the local workforce in the construction of our arena. In addition, the Savannah Economic Development Team is also working to provide knowledge and resources to existing and aspiring small businesses through a continuing educational series. If you would like more information on the available classes, please visit www.savannahga.gov/calendar. www.savannahga.gov/calendar, or the events tab on the city's Facebook page. Last week, the Savannah City Council adopted a new ordinance aimed at enhancing pedestrian safety. And the ordinance declares that people cannot stand, sit, or otherwise occupy the public right-of-way that is intended for travel by motor vehicles. And this action was a response to an increase in pedestrian activity in the rights-of-way around the city, especially around busy roadways. A sad example of the danger of these sorts of activities occurred the same day we passed this ordinance in our neighboring community of Garden City, where a woman stood dangerously in the median and was struck by a vehicle. I think my count is that we've had at least 4 people in our city to die in a similar manner. We recognize that the pandemic is an extraordinary circumstance, and I really appreciate the Savannah City Council, which passed this ordinance unanimously, because we recognize not only what we were getting calls about, but what we were seeing. And we have been working on this for several months now, and I appreciate our legal team for helping us through this, because we needed a way to help protect the public. This is not assault on homeless people. As a matter of fact, the record will show that the city of Savannah is the municipality doing the most to help address homelessness. Well, we understand and recognize that this is a very unique time. A couple of things. First of all, we have shelters that can only do 30% of their capacity. So that means that they have 10 people, 7 of them cannot be there. So that means more people in the street. Secondly, the folks that are coming here are coming from other areas of the country, primarily because it's cold and our weather is better. Thirdly, the issue is that, we have people, and again, it's not just 2 homeless people, we have it in the summer times as well, where you see people, you've seen kids kind of darting in and out of the street, and I know that there have been times where I've almost hit a couple. You just don't see them, and they're out back and forth. So as our city's main role is public safety, this is an opportunity to give our police some tools to deal with this. This is a city ordinance. It is not a jailable offense, and I will submit to you that the city of Savannah has the right, the authority, and the responsibility to issue ordinances to be able to address public safety. The Recorder's Court has the exclusive jurisdiction to address those issues, and the city of Savannah, by Constitution, actually prosecutes these cases where they need to be. But I think the more overarching part of this is that this is an opportunity for us to be safe. And so I would rather not see anyone die. I would rather see police officers approaching someone and saying, hey, you really don't need to be here. Hey, you really need to move somewhere else. Rather than putting themselves in a situation where somebody dies and we have to tell a family that somebody died. So we're serious about this. And again, it needs to be noted that the entire council supported this ordinance. Finally, I plan to go on Broughton Street. I've been told that February the 18th, this project is expected to be finished. I'm expecting for it to be finished on February the 18th. And I'm expecting to be there to see that it's finished. And then we will, we've reached out to business owners. Again, as I said last week, I don't think we've done as good of a job as we could have done, but I expect that we will do better. Finally, we had a homicide over the weekend, and the police will release more information as it becomes available. And again, unfortunately, it appears that the behavior is consistent. That when you have people that know each other, or people who may be involved in some type of illegal activity, and there's a gun involved, then we know bad things happen. So what we need is common sense gun laws at the state level. We need to have our police to have the tools that they need to be able to address gun crimes here. We need the prosecution of gun crimes here in Chatham County. And we need people to make better decisions as it relates to solving conflict. And we need people who love individuals that are involved in that type of activity to be able to either report them or to turn those weapons in. We need our citizens to secure their weapons, because these guns are coming out of people's cars and coming out of people's houses. And, you know, that's just the bottom line. We need people to secure their cars. And we're going to need their help in helping to get that done. And again, soon I plan to roll out another gun buyback program, not through the city, but as I did a couple of years ago when I was an alderman, in another attempt to be able to get some of these guns off the street. If it's economic, then we're going to get those guns. And we'll have them destroyed or have them determined for evidentiary value, but we need to get these guns off the street. The summer is coming, spring is coming, and you know, usually we know what happens as it relates to that. So that ends my prepared comments, and I'll answer any questions you may have. Wow. Wow. Good morning. I mean, that's pretty cool.
One question I have for you is, we've seen in New Orleans that during Mardi Gras, they decided to shut down bars and close streets. Do we have similar plans in force for that for our neighborhood?
Good question. I've been approached about that. And I will tell you that as far as I'm concerned, at this point, all options are on the table. I think that we have to be smart, but I think we have to do it based on our situation. So, no decisions have been made yet. It depends on our positivity rate. You know, we might possibly be in a situation to limit the operation of some establishments during that time. Again, I've called on, I guess I need to call on the governor again to mandate mask wearing throughout the state of Georgia, which would include private establishments. Right now it's not. I still get calls daily from people in private businesses that are complaining about the non-enforcement of masks. And so, you know, without any state help, we might have to do something locally. I'm not ruling it out. I'm just saying that all options are on the table, and we'll do that based on the advice of our health professionals. All right? Good morning. we can provide that. I'm sure we have a finite number of businesses. And again, this is really not for everybody, but there are some. I mean, you know, when you're not selling enough food, then essentially, for us, you become a bar, which is totally different. And so, you know, we can get that information for you. And again, everybody may not take advantage of it. Some might need to, but in our mind, if we are able to do this and help a business stay open for a little while longer, then we think it's a good deal.
And I kind of have an off-topic question.
Well, let me go back. On Thursday, the council, as you know, granted a probationary period of the Treehouse bar. As you saw, it was an extensive discussion by council. I think, quite simply, you know, there's a new sheriff in town, and businesses that have alcohol licenses need to be very clear that we're going to enforce it. And if you violate it, you can expect to see yourself before council. I hope that the owner recognized the gift that he had been given, and I hope that he takes this opportunity to create a safety plan that works, and I hope he is able to run his business in a responsible manner. Otherwise, the Treehouse will not be there any longer.
And then the other question was just, have you received any complaints about slow mail? We've gotten a lot of viewers who reach out to us about not getting their medications in time, and just a lot of mail issues. Have you received any?
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. I just got a Christmas card last week. Christmas. I mean, there used to be a time, and I remember, you know, if you mail something in Savannah to Savannah, you know, it got there the next day. In Atlanta, it got 2 days. I've received a lot of complaints. And unfortunately, there's nothing we could do about it. We used to have a facility distribution point here in Savannah. It's moved to Jacksonville. We fought to keep it here in Savannah. It's absolutely horrible. And yes, we have people with medications, people that receive paper checks, people with various correspondence. I mean, to tell you the truth, and I shouldn't be telling my business, but I received something from our property maintenance department for a violation that I had on a rental property that I owned. By the time I received it, the date to cure it had already passed. It had already passed. I mean, I'm looking at the date, I'm looking at the postmark, it had already passed. And so, you know, among the list of things we want to talk to with our federal partners is also our postal service and mail. People depend on U.S. mail. And, you know, it needs to be reliable, it needs to be predictable. So, yes.
Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
Just one quick question, and you touched on a little bit at the beginning. I was just curious if you had followed up with Governor Kemp, pushing him to mandate masks, and if you've yet ever received a response.
The second question is no, I have not. Again, it's my responsibility to ask. We know that masks work. We know that as we are increasing in terms of our vaccination percentages, that we have to have people to wear a mask. And it only makes sense that we wear a mask. I read the numbers to you. Our positivity rates are still extraordinarily high, and we need people to wear masks. I mean, you know, and so I'll continue saying it, and, you know, if the governor chooses to, it's his privilege to do so. But in Savannah, we wear a mask, and we want to do that. We want to do that throughout our entire community. I think it's safe for everybody, particularly now that our weather is getting better, and now that people will be visiting our city. We need to protect those that are working in restaurants. We need to protect those who are working in hotels and in our tourism industry. We have to protect those that are just doing their job. They don't have the luxury of being able to say, oh, well, I can't work today because nobody's wearing masks. So I think it's a responsible thing to do, and again, I ask the governor to do the right thing.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Actually,
Well, yes, please. Good morning.
If you were present for the job fair on Saturday, were you satisfied with the turnout?
I was. I estimate probably between 100 and 200 people were there. It was a bad weather day. It was dreary. It was cold. So I helped to, balance that. But from the people that were there, they were excited about the possibilities. I saw some very good communication. And so now we have to translate that communication and those contacts into job opportunities. We have another one planned for March, and hopefully the weather will be better. But yeah, I was encouraged by what I saw. I want to make sure we're absolutely clear. This arena, as much as possible, will be built by Savannahans. That we will have local businesses actively engaged. We will have local people actively working. That we will have minority and women-owned businesses actively engaged. And we're going to announce a team next week that's going to help us to make sure that happens. We only get one shot at this, one shot. And so for me, it's trust but verify. And I want to have our own people on that site every day, counting bodies, counting businesses, and making sure that we are delivering what we promised to deliver for the people. Again, if you've been out there lately, it is coming up fast, even in the midst of rain. We're on budget and on time. But more important than on budget and on time is that we keep the commitment to those that we said we were going to make this a community project. I want to see people learn job skills because of this project. I want to see people who are returning from jails and prisons to have the opportunity to work on this project. So to me, it's a game changer, and I want to do all I can to make sure that we keep our word to the Savannah people. I'm not sure. I will know that better next week. We'll just find out because I think there's a critical mass of labor on there. So I guess if we need more, we will. But I think it was just really good for us to continue maybe even having those things because there are a lot of folks out there looking for work. And a lot of businesses that need those opportunities. So, I'm open to doing whatever we can to make sure that those who want to work have the opportunity to work. Thank you.
Hello.
I see you got the phone, so here comes the question about, okay.
Now, of course not, sorry. I guess the only thing I'd be really, sir, is I know the hospitals right now are trying to pair up with local church leaders to spread the word of the vaccine in areas, communities that may be underserved. Does the city have a role in that in terms of reaching out to these communities that may not have the trust in the vaccine or just don't have the access?
Sure. Matter of fact, we've done that through Savannah Faith. So we have a partnership with over 200 members of clergy in our community. Encouraging them, we recognize that clergy members are very respected and held in high esteem. We've had senior members of our community that are trusted to have the vaccine. Mayor Otis Johnson, Mayor Edna Jackson, both have had the vaccine. It's important. I mean, the distrust that some communities have regarding the medical community and vaccines is well-founded. Savannah was a location of an experiment some years ago, and people are still around that remember that. So it's important for us to make sure that people that they know, people that they see, recognize this is for their good. And so we're proud to continue to work with our Savannah Faith Initiative and continue to work with our Coastal Health District to help us to get that word out, to work with our OLA, which is our Hispanic Outreach and Leadership Advocacy, to help them to get that word out for their members, to work with our Proud Savannah Initiative, which is our LGBTQ plus initiative to help get that word out as well. For us, the task force almost become a mode of operation, a mode of communication for us to get the word out. So I submit to you that the city plays a role in all of that. And again, we're on board for however we need to be of help. I'm expecting to visit one of the hospitals within the next week or so, as I've been doing to salute those healthcare workers that continue to work during this pandemic.
Thanks.
Thank you. Anything else? It is a 4-day week here at the City of Savannah, which means that we have 5 days of work to crunch into 4 days. But we thank you. We continue to keep the faith and follow the science. We continue to work hard and go hard in the paint for our city. And we appreciate you all coming out. Let's stay Savannah strong. God bless. Have a good day.